Hello, everyone, and welcome to another
Hello.
of
Hi.
Together We Rise. Happy and blessed Saturday for those on a Saturday, and happy and blessed Sunday for those who are on Sunday. So, today's topic is the following.
Welcome together. We rise live, building confidence across cultures. Find your voice in a global community. Back to you.
Thank you, Falak. Yes, so that's what we're going to be talking today. Before we dive into our topic, let us introduce ourselves. Hi, everyone. My name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but currently residing in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor.
Hello, everyone. My name is Falak. I'm residing in Indiana, mom of three by profession. I'm an educator and trainer as well. I'm running my business, online digital business, very successfully, and I'm happy with that. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Miriam. I am from Jamaica. I am a registered nurse over 20 years and now a proud digital business owner. I'm a wife, a mom, and a grandma. Thank you.
Hello, mabuhay. This is Connie from originally from the Philippines and now living here in the beautiful British Columbia, Canada. I'm a wife, a stepmom, and a mentor, a digital business owner. Thank you.
Hi everyone. My name is Elvira, and we are a family of three. My husband, along with our four-year-old son, and I've been born and raised in the UAE for about. We just came from the UAE, sorry, over 2 decades ago. We moved to Canada about 1.5 years back, and I come with a strong background of the oil and gas field sector. And after migrating to Canada, I have done my medical office assistant course, and now I'm a full-time mom. So my husband and I, we started this business about a year ago, and we are loving every bit of it. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Patsy. I am a mom of four and grandmother to nine. And originally, I came from Brunei. Now we are residing, me and my husband are residing in Edmonton, Alberta, and we are proud digital business owner and mentors.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sylvia. I'm originally from Africa, from Zambia, and now reside in Canada for the last 5 years. My background and my career is in the hospitality industry mainly, although I had other hats that I played. But I love the passion for food and in the hospitality industry. I'm a mom of four and a grandma of five, and now I'm a proud digital owner.
Hi everyone, I'm Daxi Espiritu. I'm a mom of four. I'm a former nurse in Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, KSA for 12 years. And I moved to BC, Canada last 2028 and working now as a healthcare industry here in BC for 11 years in long-term facility. And I'm proud to be business owner for 2 years and decade or 3 years now, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, everyone. Welcome back again to another episode of Together We Rise. And thank you for being here. So, today's conversation is about something many people struggle with, but don't always talk about openly, and that is confidence. Not just confidence in what we do, but confidence in who we are, especially when we come from different cultures, different backgrounds, and life experiences. Because the truth is, many people stay quiet not because they don't have value, but because they're unsure if their voice matters. And in a global community like ours, with people from different countries, languages, and stories, finding your voice can feel even more challenging. So today we are going to talk about what really looks like and how confidence is built step by step. And for that, we're going to be talking about the following segments. So, segment number one, what held you back from showing up or speaking up before? Segment number two, what helped you to take that first step to speak up or show up? And segment number three, how has your confidence changed since you started? And segment four, what would you say to someone who doesn't feel confident enough to start? Okay, so let's dive into our segment one. So, what held you back for showing up, before? So let's start because confidence, doesn't start strong. Okay, so we're gonna be answering all of us, the question, what held you back from showing up or speaking up before? So who wants to start? Okay, I'll start. Okay. So for me, I would say like before this the digital journey, like I've been trying to find something, that will be replacing my job in my film industry. So I started with a YouTube channel. Okay. That's how I started. So for me, the first thing, I wasn't able to show my face. Okay. So I started with voiceover. So I had like videos, pictures, and then even doing voiceover, it was scary. Okay. My voice was shaking, and even though they were not seeing my face, I was scared just to even record my voice. Okay. So when I started my journey in the digital business, um, and I knew that I had to show up my face, because that was the only way that I could connect with my audience. That was a little bit, scary because I don't like, for me, even though I work in the film industry, I don't like to see myself in camera. You know, um, if you see, I think no, I don't take too many pictures of me because I love to take pictures of other people or take picture of landscape and that kind of stuff, but never of me. Like that was something that I had to work on. So that was what was holding me back. But I knew that um, I needed to do it. So I needed to overcome my shyness. I needed to overcome what, because in my mind was like, oh, what other people are gonna say? What is my family gonna say? My friends, especially from the film industry, like, what are you doing? Like, but everything is on your mind, really, because they're not really saying anything. So, but that was one of the things that was holding me back. Knowing that I will have to show my face, and I didn't like to be in front of the camera, and two, what other people will think about it. So that's what held me back. Let's find out what my other co-hosts were holding them back from showing up. Any takers?
Okay.
Okay, I will go.
Okay.
Okay, so here is the question. By nature, I'm a kind of shy person, and I was whole of my life I was on jobs, okay, doing all my responsibilities and never get chance to have confidence to come off in front of camera and make your own videos or photography, anything like that. So when I joined, I thought I'll be able to do that or no. Self doubts at that time, it was hard for me to manage. So sometimes I said, Let me try, and I will practice more, of course." So these are all communication. I mean, back in my mind, what is going to be, somebody will see me, what they will think, what I'm doing, and whole my family, they know she's a very shy person. How come Falak is doing this? Oh, really? I mean, so that was really a story. So, but I mean, I said, let me start, and I will apologize if I do something wrong, or I will not have at that level of confidence which is really required. So that was the struggle, actually. That was the struggle. And I was sometimes I feel, even now, sometimes I said, oh, really, I can do that. So other than that, I mean, I'm very confident on, I mean, regarding my work or whatever task I have. I mean, in my management, I have position, but I don't know. This is something different, and I have to deal with. I mean, even now, I said. So, other than that, that is just my shyness, and that's the part of my personality. But I want to overcome, and I want to learn. At the level where I have to be very confident in front of camera and hosting and everything. That's what from me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Can I do the next?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
um, so this is my first time to join you guys. So back home, I'm not shy person. I'm always presenting to my family as not talker, but I mean always saying something. But as because of this business, this is all my first time. I'm in the healthcare all my life, like now 54 years old for this, and just showing up, it's very difficult for me too. But because I have something a big why for myself, so I need to take whatever it goes place for this, right? And then just now I'm not ready. I'm in on my break. Actually, I will be disappear for you because I am low bat. I'm in my car, but because I want to show up to see that this things is not for me only, for everybody. So have faith, have confidence, and that's what can I say for now. But suddenly I will go, okay? Because it's low bat. Thank you. Yeah.
I can go if
Okay.
Betsy's done.
Mhm.
So, for me, I've been a nurse. Everybody knows I've been a nurse forever. And, I was very confident in my clinical skills. But when I stepped into this digital global world, I felt like a student all over again. And what held me back wasn't a lack of knowledge on my part. I would say it's just fears and doubts. And I'm wondering, you know, I would see like the masterclass meetings. We have those every week, and we have those in abundance, by the way. And I'm looking at all those speakers and those successful business partners, and I wondered, um, is anybody going to understand my accent? Will they understand my Jamaican accent, or am I too old to be, talking about tech?
My God.
So I'm a grandma, so I was filtering my value through my fears, and I felt like I had to sound perfect, or techie, or something like that. So I was holding my breath, just waiting for that confidence, and just waiting and waiting until it arrived. Next speaker.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go next. Um, what I can say that really held me back, as Miriam is I can resonate with Miriam in many ways. That it's not the knowledge, that holds you back. We're quite knowledgeable with our age now. We must be experienced in knowing quite a bit of things. But for me, it definitely was the self-doubt and the fear of judgment. That was my biggest. It was fear of judgment. I was questioned whether I was good enough, or whether people would understand me, especially coming from a completely different environment in Africa, thinking, no, they won't understand my voice or my accent. And it was it was really, really hard to start in a completely new environment. Sometimes the thinking held me back. Uh, wasn't a lack of ability. It was more simply fear and not feeling enough or good enough to start. And if it was watching today, you definitely not feel it. How can I put it? I'm getting my words all mixed up. And if I think that's something that so many people can relate to, then I feel like I'm okay, because now I'm hearing so many stories that relate to the same as me, and it makes me feel so much better. But yeah, okay, sorry, got a bit nervous and got my words a bit back to front. But yeah, that's what's held me back, is self-doubt and judgment. Hmm.
Thank you. Anybody
So
else?
I think I will be next. So just like me, what holding me back is the fear of being judged. Um, Came from from the Philippines, um, and different background. I know we are all come from different background. So I was thinking,
what if my English is not good, is not perfect, something like that? What if people don't understand me? So almost the same as yours, guys. And and something like I'm not yet ready. So being stuck for a long time because uh, I'm working before in different company when I was in the Philippines, and then when I come here in Canada, I become a full time wife, and then my husband gets sick, so I'm being stuck at home, and then when I saw this online business, that's a start. That's feeling like, oh, I can do this, or not. But I still go on. I said I will try. So here I am, 6 years now. Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I remember um, the first time I go live is speaking with Stanley, my mentor, and I was so comfortable with her. And then was at times they it, it went my life went something wrong with the life, and then she went laughing, and then I was alone. So I pick up my courage. I was silent for a while, and I pick up my courage, and I continue to speak whatever I can. The beginning of my life, I was speaking one sentence only, so I don't dare to speak some more. Everything depended on her. So I will continue, and later on, and I was having my life alone. Then I had to pick up my courage. Um, that's what that's all I want to say.
Thank you. Okay, so I think everyone. Oh no, no, we have
Elvira,
one more.
one
Elvira.
more.
Yeah. Thank you guys for sharing. Listening to all of that, I'm just thinking there is nothing different from what I'm going to say. It's just a repetition of what do people think, how do we perceive things, and it's no different from what held me back, right? Uh, every time I think, okay, I'm going to go live, I'm saying, oh my gosh, no, my makeup's not on point. I'm having a bad hair day. Oh, I have a pimple come up. Okay, so just the lamest excuses, right? And if you see, there's a saying, there's a quote that says that repetition is the mother of all skill, right? So I think the more we delay, we're not delaying anybody but ourselves. So yeah, just to sum it up, whatever everybody said. So back to you, Selvia, please.
Thank you, Elvira. Yeah, so thank you for sharing that because, I know someone watching on the other side of the screen, right now is thinking that exactly how I feel, um, like all of us, we were thinking the same way, we were afraid, we were shy. Some of us are shy. But, the truth is, confidence is not something people are born with, even though we think we might be confident in some areas, but not on everything. And those areas that we are not, we have to build that confidence. So, according to some studies, show that self doubt is one of the biggest barriers to growth, especially when people step into something new. So if you felt that the same thing, like scared, self doubts, or what other people think, you're not behind. You're human because that's part of being a human. Like I mentioned, you might be perfect in some areas, but not everything. Okay, so let's move on to segment number two. So segment number two, what helped you start speaking up? So now let's talk about shift. Okay, so before on the previous question is what make you hold you back from speak. Okay, but now what make you shift into that, because something had to change, so what was the reason why you decided to take that step into speaking?
Can I go? Yeah. Yeah. So the very first step initially, which let me speak, I want to change myself. I, I, I am my visions are very clear when I wanted to do something different, and for that purpose, I want to do everything, whatever. And I always say yes. That's why, I mean, all my employers were always like admire me and say, she's very confident. She says always yes. So that's the point which I realized I have to speak, because by speaking, people will understand me. And I want to show always my consent to yes, and that gives me confidence day by day. I start building the confidence at that point. Otherwise, I never think of I'll be sitting here and talking in front of camera, and we are connected globally. So so that is a great meanings to me, uh, because my talking my gives me the way I talk, or it explores my what should I say, confidence more, in order to I have to achieve my goals and my plans always. And this online digital business has great blessings, because when I joined here, it gives me this opportunity to speak up. Without speaking up, you are not able to recognize, and I want everyone recognize me, what I am, and I'm really capable and talented in such type of things which come on my way, and I'm ready always for that. Thank you.
I can go. So, what changed for me? What changed for me was something that Sandy just said a while ago about repetition, something like that. But I'm just going to put a little spin on it. That action is the father of confidence. So that's the spin I'm putting on what Sandy just said. So for me, I, had to make a decision. I said, oh, I have to stop, start feeling brave and get willing. And I remember the first time I had to, push that go live. Oh my gosh. My, I was, like, should I? I was just there. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 1 hour or something like that. But then I thought about all the women out there who are waiting to hear that they're not alone. So I just got really brave, and I realized my message was more important than my nerves. So I clicked that go that go button while my heart was was going so bad. So but that one small action, broke this spell, and I realized, the world you don't need to be perfect. You just have to be present. Our next speaker, please.
That is right, Miriam. It happens to me too. I need to make I need to make a decision even if I'm scared, right? Because if not, nothing happened. So yeah, small step like posting and then go lives. That's really my start too. So showing up even if you were sometimes you're speechless. Sometimes the camera is on and then you have nothing to say. It's just like blackout. You know what to say,
Yeah.
and then once it is on, everything is disappear. But yeah, thank you for that. Our community is very supportive,
Mm.
and even if you will say you're not alone, because there's a lot that of us is learning as we go
Yeah.
on with this journey. That's it.
Is that me or who else?
Yes, you can go.
Oh, okay. I'll go next. Yeah. Okay. What helped me to start to actually start? I've been nervous. I think all of you know how long it's taken me to actually show my face or start talking, which is I'm doing well right now, taking step by step. But what helped me was starting to speak up was realizing that waiting to feel ready was actually keeping me stuck because I was waiting. No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And I was never ready. It's going over a year now. But now in the last few months, when I said, you know what, at some point, some point, I had to make a decision that even if I was nervous, even if I was still not taking the right saying it rightly, I had to make that step. And the community, honestly, is the best thing that happened to me because they don't judge you, they encourage you, they help you. I mean, you can see my page right now. I'm the only one with the back to front background. You know, everybody's got it right, but that's how you have to start. You've got to do it messy. You've got to do it with mistakes. And then you realize, okay, that's my mistake. I won't make it again. And if you don't make the mistakes, honestly, you're not going to learn.
Mm.
I've realized making my mistakes has actually taught me. My mentor keeps saying to me, that's it. You see, you do it by yourself. And when I do it by myself, I realize, gosh, it was easy, because I did it by myself and I didn't worry about judging. So when you're around people who encourage you and instead of judge you, it gives you the courage to try, even before your confidence even catches up with you, you actually try. So that's how I've been coming forward now. Thanks.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Yeah.
Yeah, making that first step is always hard, but once you conquer that first step to show up, and at times I don't want to go live every day, and my mentor said, well, you got a lot of feedback. So I continue to do live and speak up. And sometimes when I have a group live, and then I said, oh, I do my live already, I don't have to do my individual live. So my mentor encouraged me to take that extra step. So I think you say coachable, and then I do it, no matter how late, how it was usually um, at night that I do it, when everybody is silent and quiet. Then I do it. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Patsy.
Yes, Patsy, I watch you every night before life, and then I comment. So yeah, I
Yeah.
can second what Patsy and even Sylvia said. It's the same. For me, it's been our mentor. So she's the one, like, when we were new in the business, she used to tell, okay, let's do something. And I used to find every excuse in the book not to. And it didn't work. That unfortunately it did work. So yeah, here I am, and now it's like the tables have turned. Now I go and, like, okay, who are we going to do next, or when we go live next? So who are we going to talk, what are we going to talk about? And she's like, so although yes, I have taken a while, but yeah, I'm glad for the community, for our mentors, our seniors over here, who help and guide us, and push us through that, especially the first phase of startup. Back to you, Sandy.
Thank you, Vera. Yeah, for me, same thing. I would say it's thanks to my community that pushed me. Because I started the same as Stacy, as a group. We were talking earlier, before we went live. I was telling a little bit about my journey. So yeah, so I was scared. So like all of you, um, and like I was mentioning, I always started with my 10-day go live challenge, which was the longest one for me, because I was like many of you, like afraid of going live. I was like, okay. The only reason why I pressed it is because I knew that I had a challenge. I needed to complete that challenge before the end of the day. So that's why. But I was afraid also to press that button, to go live on my own. But like I mentioned, like same as you, because of the community, it helped me to overcome that fear. And Miriam, like Miriam mentioned, repetition, showing up every day, it helps you to build that confidence. Um, do we say like confidence go away? No, I can say that from my experience. Yes, I build that confidence, but once in a blue, guess what? That fear comes back, and it's like the first time that you had it. The only difference now is that you know how to overcome that fear by taking action. So that's what it makes the difference. But fear is always there. It's always there to push you, to become better, to keep growing. So hopefully, what we share today, it inspires you with our journey. So I love that because, it shows something important. Confidence doesn't come first, as we all know, you know. It comes from taking action first. And according to some research shows that taking small actions consistently is what builds long-term confidence. Okay. So not waiting to feel ready. So it's not about being fearless. It's about being willing to take that step. So let's move on to our next third segment. So how has your confidence grown? So from the beginning to up to now, where you are right now. So let's talk about growth. And how's your confidence changed since you started in this journey? So who wants to start? No one? Okay, I'll start. No one. Um, well, like I mentioned, I would see, my confidence has built through the years, but like I say, it's part of the repetition. So now I'm more confident, but I think I could tell you, the difference. Even though I show up, there's different levels of confidence. So I'll give you an example. When I started doing hosting lives like this. I started, with being, fearful and shaking my voice at the beginning. Then I built my confidence on that. But then I had to set, I was doing interviews, no problem. But then being sitting on the other side, being the guest, the person that someone was going to interview me, that was another whole story, and that was fearful again, because I was not used to that. So I have to build that confidence again, you know. Another confidence that I had to build was for a webinar. I decided to challenge myself and become one of the webinar panelists. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
That fear came back again, So I remember the first webinar panelist, my voice was shaking. I was so afraid, just like the first time. So fear is always gonna be there, but fear is always to push you, So I I still have confidence, but there's different levels of confidence, and as you go through your journey, you're gonna start experience all of them. And so confidence really doesn't stop. That's part of your journey of growing. So that's what I want to share from my part. Anyone?
Yeah, I can go. Yeah. So, how my confidence, how I built my confidence, and at what level I am, I must say here, I want to highlight it. Uh, it always connect with the action, action and showing up over and over and over, even the days are down, if you don't have like the same energy every day. But I committed myself. um I have to show up, no matter what. I mean, even if I just commit this way, like if I don't go today or don't show up, I mean, I'll be absent, and that is not me. I cannot be absent. I have to be present. And that mindset m- bring changes each day. And and yeah, so that's what the only thing. Sometimes I feel might be like in this group, if I say, do I go for, even now I say, I was thinking, do I go second time, or Sandy has gone already? So fear is always there. I mean, but you have to struggle each time to push back the fear, and take a step to move forward. That's what I am, and that's how I did, and that's how I'm building every day. And I will keep going. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Um,
Sandy
I'm
and Falak, that is true because
Yeah.
what they are saying about uh, every time it is a first time, you will get nervous, right? It's something you haven't already built a confidence before when you go live, and then there's another segment that you will do again first time. As long as it is first time, it will be going to be nervous. So what I did, just a small step, always just showing up, and then then it will become comfortable. Then stop worrying. I think what people think about about you. Focus more on who I can help. I think it will be help, and then do everything will be built by doing it again, again and again and again. So that's it.
Mhm.
Okay, I can go. So, how has my confidence grown? The first go live I did actually, I don't know if you can hear, guys, but my granddaughter and her friend back there, just loud. I was just trying to avoid them, their voices here. But that's the way I started. I like I had needed a crutch, so I had my granddaughter ask me questions and stuff like that because I was, like I said, I was so nervous. But today, my confidence has gone way better, and thankfully, I have this community, and this community has been very supportive in that, I can say. So I've grown from someone who stayed muted to someone who speaks with a full heart, I would say. Now, when I talk to partners anywhere, this is a global business. I can hear different languages when we get together like this or in our meetings and everything. And I hear the same dreams, the same shared dreams. So that's where I get the confidence from. My confidence grew because I stopped trying to fit into a box and just started building my own stage in a way, and I'm not just a nurse anymore. I'm a global voice for other women. So back to the pass the mic back to someone else.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go next. Okay. But how can I say what's the title again? I have to get the title back. In how has your
Yeah.
confidence grown? Okay, I haven't prepared for this, and that's one thing I can actually say right now. I haven't prepared. Like I always thought I had to prepare. I always told Sandy I can't. I haven't prepared. So this is where I can see where my confidence is growing. My confidence has grown in a very real and gradual way. Very gradually, not just like that. It happened over. It didn't happen overnight, and uh, I become more comfortable being myself now. I always thought I had to be like that person. Oh gosh, she spoke like that. Oh, she sat this way, or her words came out like that. That's where I thought I had to be perfect, and I don't feel like I need to sound like anyone else or try to fit into someone else's version of confidence. Now I'm more willing to speak, much better. I mean, Sandy will tell you, I feel much better. It just wasn't me, like, say, a few weeks ago. I can share now, I can connect, I can trust people with my story now, which I never did before. I thought no one needed to hear that much of my story, but I believe the more I tell my story, the more I'm telling somebody something, my journey, my perspective, and actually maybe help someone else, with my story, not a story that I'm trying to impress somebody with. And I think that's the real confidence, and not being perfect, but being comfortable enough to show up as I am and not as somebody else is. And as Sandy said, there's many layers of being confident, because uh, it grows in layers, one layer at a time. I think Sandy mentioned that just now, and that's exactly how confidence works. The more you show up, the more natural it becomes. Yeah.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Thanks.
Yeah. By taking the courses, all that added up to my confidence. The more I learn, and the more confident I become.
Yeah.
And they said knowledge is power. So even though I didn't complete all the courses, but a little bit by little, I learned, and hearing real stories and boost up my confidence. And in fact, hearing the Eagles retreat sharing was fantastic, and I listened over and over and again, and it has really built my confidence. I said, if they all can do it, uh, we I can do it also.
Right.
And even though I am over a year in this business, but my confidence is rising. I can see it rising. You know, that's all.
Thank you, Patsy.
Thank you. Yeah, when I look at this question, I just wonder, why is there not an instrument or a machine to measure confidence? We have for baking, we have for sugar, we have for everything. Why don't we have something to measure our confidence? Because uh, let's face it, we are our own worst critics. And even though we know we have grown our confidence from where we started, like from day one to today, or in the future, we are still not satisfied with ourselves. And we are hardest on ourselves. But if you hear from your mentor or your anybody, like if your family hears you from what you started until today, they will obviously definitely say something good about it. But we are very hard on ourselves. And I hear that all the time from my mentor. She tells us that she's so proud of seeing us, where how we've grown and our confidence and whatever. And then we are like, my husband and I were like, okay, we're not yet arrived. We still need more, more, as Patsy said, trainings, more polishing. So yeah.
Yeah.
We are always on our way to like progress. There's always room for improvement, I would say. Yeah.
Mhm.
Back to you, Sandy.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. So what we share here today, that's powerful because, confidence is not one big moment, it's built in small steps, and when you're in the right environment, being part of a global online community like the ones that we have today, you don't feel like you have to change who you are, but you feel safe to become more of who you already are. So that's the beauty of it. All right, so let's move on to our last question. So, what this is the last segment for us today. So, what would you say to someone who feels not confident enough? Okay, so let's bring this to someone watching right now on the other side of the screen, because there might be someone thinking, I could never do that, and I think many of us that are here were on that same situation before. I don't think I can be on the screen. I would love to, but I don't think I can do it. you know so what would you say to someone who doesn't feel confident enough to start? Who wants to start?
I will go.
Okay.
Okay. So my recommendation is don't overthink. Just say it. Step it. I mean, without any thinking. Just have one thing in mind. I have to grow. So what do I do? Just action. I mean, when I think one step will clear many things. The fear which is lacking anybody's behind, that is just the fear. And I mean, sometimes we don't know how much potential we have in us, like what kind of capabilities and abilities we are carrying, and God has given everybody. So that is just your yes, your action. And do not scare and don't overthink. Sometimes when we have over doubts, like self doubts, we can do, we cannot do, only in that struggle we are not to the point where is what is the starting point. So just the first step is the step which is hard, and that is the step when you have courage to take that step, the doors will open for you. And what I have learned in this community, this supportive and massive community, when you are ready mentally, everything is ready. Just the mindset, nothing else. Thank you.
Thank you, Clark.
Mhm.
Anybody else?
I can go. What would I say to the unsure person watching? So, if you're watching this right now and you're thinking, I don't think I could do that, I want you to listen, because for years I let my doubts be the boss of my destiny. I thought my voice was too small for a global stage. But here is the truth: your voice doesn't have to be loud to be powerful, it just has to be real. Because confidence isn't something you get, it's something you uncover. You are you are already enough.
Mhm.
And your story and your accent, just like I was worried about, and your perspectives are the very things that the world is missing. So don't wait until you're ready to speak up, because the world is waiting for you now. And back to the next speaker.
Yeah, okay, I'll just go. I'll just end it off. So the last words, I think we've said most of it. Like, this has been such a really important conversation between the confidence, because confidence is something so, what can I say, so many people struggle with. It's a big, big, big subject, especially when they're stepping into something new or trying to find their place in a different like environment. But we've heard today was so powerful from everybody that the confidence is not about where you come from. It's not about your accent. It's not about your background. It's not about everything figured out. Confidence is built when you choose not to stay hidden. That's where the confidence comes in. It grows when you take that one step, then another step, and then another step. And so many of us were once there. We once felt unsure. We felt we stayed quiet. That was me for a very long time. I doubted myself, and now speaking up, showing up, and growing just shows how our confidence has changed, and it can change not because we suddenly became fearless, not because we gave ourselves permission to begin. And so, if you're watching this, if anybody is watching this today and thinking that that could be me, maybe you've just haven't been given yourself the chance yet. Start small, start open, keep learning, keep growing, because your voice, your story, and your perspective truly matters more than you actually think. And now, when you surround yourself with people like we have now, you don't just find your voice, you actually grow into it. So that's what I can say about confidence.
Thank you, Sylvia. Anybody else wants to say anything? Add to it?
Okay,
Yeah, I would say,
maybe I will tell this to those that are watching right now or later. Maybe I will tell them that you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to be willing to take one small step, because your voice matters, even if it's not perfect yet. And the more that you show up, the more confident you will become. So don't wait for the perfect time. Start where you are. I think that's the best thing to advise them. Thank you.
Thank you, Connie. Okay, so lastly, to um, what would you say to someone? Well, I think pretty much everyone has pretty much some everything here. So the only way to feel confident is by taking action, and many times, it's just on the other side of the fear, to be able to build that confidence, to be able to grow, because when you cross that line that is on the other side of the fear, that's when you start growing. And it's not only about growing, it's also about being an inspiration to someone else on the other side, to giving that voice to someone else who's afraid to talk. So that's a huge inspiration for you to be able to build that confidence, to be able to help other person, to be able to give that voice to the other person who is afraid to do it. So I think being able to show up on social media is a way to be able to connect with others, to be able to inspire and motivate others to take action. So that's for that point. So, um, this was a very very nice conversation. And this is why conversations like this matter, because confidence is not about where you're from, about your language, your background, or you know um we say like, oh, maybe our accent, we're concerned about accent. It doesn't really matter. It's about you, the message that you are telling to the other person on the other side of the screen. It's about your willingness to grow. um, and what you heard today is this: people who once felt unsure are now showing up. People who once stayed quiet are now speaking. And people who doubted themselves are now growing. Not because they had everything figured out, but because they took one step. So if you're watching this and thinking, I'm not confident enough, maybe the truth is you just haven't given yourself the chance yet, you know? So, like many of us, you can start small, you can stay open, and you can keep learning, because your voice and your story or your perspective, matters more than you think. And when you surround yourself with the right people, like for example, our global online community, you don't just find your voice, but you grow into it. So we hope so that you got inspired with what we shared today, from all of our journey and experience and tips for you guys that are watching us. So if something resonated with you today, stay connected, keep learning, keep being part of this conversation like this. And because sometimes the first step to confidence is simple, by showing up. So that's the real key ingredient, is showing up, take action. So if you want to be part of a global online community that is with you along your journey, that motivates you, that uplifts you, and at the same time, you can build your online business and start creating that plan B and that extra side of income alongside your job. Here are three ways that you can do that. So you can either put in the comments more info, send us a private message, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have, or you can register directly into our website with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to our free webinar. We have free webinar twice a week. It's every Tuesdays and Thursdays at the same time. So it goes from 5 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. MST, 7 p.m. CST, and 8 p.m. EST. So we want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the live with us today. For those catching the replay, thank you so much. And to our followers, thank you so much for being part of our journey, for believing in us, and for engaging with our content. We want to wish everyone a happy and blessed Saturday. For those who are on Saturday, and a happy and blessed Sunday for those who are on Sunday, and a happy and blessed weekend for everyone. So thank you again for being here with us today, and we'll see you again next Saturday for another episode of Together We Rise. So thank you, everyone. God bless you all, and thank you for watching.
Bye.
Hi.
Bye bye.